Well, hello everybody, and welcome. It's a brand new year. So, what are we going to do? I think that today's it is the beginning of the year. Today's topic is going to be very timely for where we are getting started in a brand new year, and what are we going to do? What do we have? All of the aspirations that we have, and excitement actually for all of the new things in the year ahead. So we'll wait just a couple of minutes just to allow people to get on. I know that it's been about 2 weeks since I've done a Facebook Live. And hey, Thomas, how you doing? Thanks for coming on. So we're going to get started. And the question is, what will make 2018 different from 2017? And I ask this question at the beginning of every year. Hey, Veronica, the thing that really makes the difference is that pattern interrupt of the new year. We have achieved whatever it is in the previous year, but if we don't ask this question, we are pretty much destined to repeat what that last year was. Because there's going to be things in that year that worked for us and then other things that didn't. And I'm reminded of the book by Marshall Goldsmith. Marshall Goldsmith was, or actually is, rated one of the 10 highest thinkers in the world right now. I had the privilege of speaking on the same stage with him at Miraval a number of years ago. But he wrote the book, What Got You Here Won't Get You There. And that's really what we're talking about. We have risen to a certain level of expertise or accomplishment in our careers and our businesses. But what is it that we really want to raise that bar to now? What is it that we're going to be doing that's going to give us an additional or different result? So we're going to go over something I call common core. And some of these areas are going to be very similar, and you've heard about these before. And hey, Rhonda, how are you? Thanks for coming on. The common core are the things that we do as a foundation. And Stephen Covey always said, start with the end in mind. And that is really true. What is it that you want at the end of 2018? Not necessarily always around money, but what is it that you want to accomplish for yourself? What's that yearly vision? And so out of that yearly vision, once you have that, and we've done some programs around creating the vision. And hey, James, it's been a long time. So one of my high school classmates just came on. The vision that we have, I can go back over that in another Facebook Live, but how to actually create that. But let's just assume that it's a goal-setting session. What is it that you want to accomplish by the end of this year? And then creating the action plan. This is where many times goals or dreams really fall apart because they haven't really been connected to the actual things you're going to do to achieve those things. And so creating that action plan, what are the things that have been working for you? What are the things, and here's another key, what are the things that haven't been? What are the things you need to change to allow space for something new to come in to be able to get a different result with it? The third thing is, what is your daily method of operation? For years, I would come into the office and I ask myself, well, what do I need to do today? It would almost be like that tail wagging the dog. And so now I have a daily method of operation that I come in and do certain things to get started. I do certain things at the end of the day to prepare myself for the following day. And so it really comes into that habitual, we're going into a system, and so we're going to actually get more done. So when you do the last two, the creating the action plan and that daily method of operation, it is really important, again, to look at what really did work for you last year and the things that you can keep and then the things that you can adjust to. One of the Garyisms that I've had over the years is launch and adjust. So it's not bad to make those changes. In fact, we really need to. And within the economy, the things that we have as stimulus in our businesses, maybe it's a product or service that really isn't taking a hold. And Martina from Puerto Rico, thank you for coming on. Shelley, we've got East and West Coast, and actually I believe that we also have Mexico on today. But when we're looking at these things as far as what we're wanting to do, that's the things that we can now make choices of. What do we keep in our process and those that we're going to adjust. So the next section here is what I call rebooting your brain for success. What are the things that we're going to do to stimulate these new ideas, create these opportunities, these possibilities that turn into probabilities? And the first thing is that we really need to look at who we're choosing as our mentors. And mentors can be anything and anyone, whether living or dead. And so that sounds a little morbid, but a lot of my mentors over the years have been people that have left a legacy that I can learn from, that are no longer here with us on this plane on earth. And so it's always been said that in 5 years, you will become the people you associate with in the books you read. So let's go over a couple of those things. Let's look at books. I've got a couple of suggestions for you. We have a tendency not to read anymore, and it's okay if you do it on a tablet or even if you're doing audiobooks. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's getting that fresh, new information, looking at a subject from a different vantage point that will stimulate you and how to use that possibly. And so some of the books that I'd like to recommend to you is Marshall Goldsmith's book, What Got You Here Won't Get You There. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the Stephen Covey book. It's been around for a number of years now. It is phenomenal. Learning because success is about habits. It's about duplication. And then another one is a book that we gave to our clients, our coaching clients, a couple of years ago. It's a book, I don't know if you can see that, but it's called Tribes by Seth Godin. You know, for success in any business now, it really is important for us to build our community. And Seth talks about it being a tribe, and it really is. We're building that group of people that really synergize with who we are, what we have, and where our mission lies. So Tribes is a great book on that. Another one is The Magic of Thinking Big. It's a older book again. David J. Schwartz is the author. That is one that has been around, that has really served me for many, many years. A standard that if you have not read this in a while, or if it's one that you've never read, is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. What you're getting out of Think and Grow Rich is, the turn of the last century, the great minds that really created what we have in this country for the United States. And it's a synopsis of all of the success principles that were created by these individuals back in the day. So you're getting a lot of information very succinctly. The next area is videos and audios. Some of you are wanting to become speakers. Some of you are wanting to become writers, or maybe you already are and you're wanting to just take your game to another level. Or maybe it's a technique on how to present or how to communicate. And so TEDx is one of those areas on YouTube that I love going to. Just seeing the different styles and the information and the delivery that people have, it's a wealth of information there that's at our fingertips, and we can assimilate it very quickly. One of the things that I love about TEDx is that it's very short. It's within, usually the lowest or the shortest one is about 12 minutes, and it goes to about 18. So you can get this information in our busy schedules and go on from there. The audios from Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, the Zig Ziglar, Napoleon Hill are all really great. Another area that we don't normally think about in the video area are movies. And some of the movies, I have some of the recommendations that I make at my boot camp is What the Bleep Do We Know? Secretariat, The Legend of Bagger Vance, Facing the Giants, The Prestige, Click. These movies stimulate an emotional response, and it does it in the way of stories. And when we attach to stories, we're able to apply those principles whether they be historical or not necessarily a story that it's just around a story, but it has an impact on us. And so the thing is to look for those things that give that stimulation, that inspiration for us to take our business, our lives, relationships to that next level. The third and last thing I wanted to go over is events. So events is something unique, and I really recommend that we look at our calendars and put some sort of event, whether it be local or national, where we have to travel for it, at least once a quarter. And the thing that I really find beneficial in events is that when I have a mind of a student, no matter where I am, I'm sitting in the room wanting to get one idea, that one little nugget that's going to make a difference for me. Now, normally I get many, many more. But when I go in with the mind of a student, I'm not questioning or judging what the information is being presented. I can take it in and look at it later whether or not it's going to serve me. The idea of always be learning and expanding. You know, I really have had people over the years say, you've made it, it's all, you know, I go, I don't know what that means, because there's the adage that I've lived by. The more that I know, the more that I know that I don't know. There's always something else. There's always another summit beyond where I am. So I always want to go to an expansion mentality. So I'm embracing new concepts. The V8 moments. When I do attend events, one of the things that I find, because I'm in a protected environment, I am able to shut out a lot of the extraneous ideas, and the phone stopped ringing and all that, and I'm able to have what I call V8 moments. And what that is, I could have had a V8. I have this moment of inspiration that I can capture, not to necessarily implement right then, but I can capture it to really look and engaging and where it applies later on. And then, not so isolated. We have tendencies in our businesses to think that we're these little islands. And I really believe that we have the need to be able to connect with other individuals somewhat because we want to see that other people are struggling or achieving and succeeding in areas just like we are. And so that we have this community, this group idea that is, again, just like what Seth Godin said, the tribes. Joining these tribes is something that we're associating with people of like mind. And so we get a positive input instead of sometimes having these challenges where everybody says, well, how are you? And they're what I call Eeyores. They come at us in a way of everything that's bad or wrong or not working. And we get into like-minded individuals where they help shore us up and give us encouragement. And so the last thing on the events, and this is a shameless promotion for those of you, would love to encourage you to check out breakthroughbusinessmastery.com. That's my 3-day event that I do at the end of January here in Denver, Colorado. And so you can go and check it out, but we'll have over 100 people from around the country here in the Denver metro area and a few outside of the country itself. And so, but it's just an opportunity. But look for at least one event where you can go and explore and, you know, really have that moment of inspiration for yourself and also making those connections. One of the things that I really love doing at events is networking because I have the opportunity to really get to know the stories of other folks around the country. So the action steps is really going back to the core elements, is going back, you know, start with the end in mind. What is it that you really want to achieve? What is your Christmas list? If anything was possible, what would you put on that list to achieve in 2018? And then create the action plan for each of those items so that you know what to do, what to engage in order to have the probability, not just the possibility of achieving each of those items. And then create your daily method of operation. This is not a workaholic model, by the way. This is just giving us a track to run on so that we don't have to do decisions over and over again. What do I do now? What do I do now? What do I do now? Once we have the daily method of operation, we just do the next thing that we have within the schematic. And then the last thing is to look at all of this and say what didn't work, and then if it's not working, what could work, what are the sources, what are the resources, who could I connect to, what are the things that I could read. You know, there's a myriad of information out there, if that's a word, and a myriad, maybe that's the word. But we have a tremendous amount of resources that if we just ask, we will receive what we need. And along with that, if you ever have a question, would like to reach out, let me know what a good topic or a topic you'd like me to address on these Facebook Lives would be. Please drop me a note. It's Gary at GaryBarnesInternational.com. So today was a little bit longer than normal, and I appreciate your patience and staying with me and everybody that's been on. I just so appreciate your participation and being a part of my community. And I'm looking forward to a phenomenal 2018 and all of the achievements we all will make in all of our endeavors. And I'd love to hear your stories, by the way. As you accomplish or have anything to share, please reach out with that as well. So until the next time, have a great day, and remember to enjoy the ride. Life is an adventure. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.